Welcome to Pro Practice, your guide to piano mastery. I'm Josh Wright, and today's episode is based on a very famous waltz by Chopin. It is in B minor, Opus 69 No. 2. I'll play a few bars of this just to get the video started. This is one of my favorite waltzes to give to intermediate pianists or advanced pianists, but I wouldn't be giving this to a beginner. I think a better preparatory waltz for this waltz would be this. That was published after Chopin's death, I believe, so it is Waltz in A minor, B 150 if you're looking it up. Okay, this was published during his lifetime, I believe, Opus 69 No. 2. And I have very fond memories of this piece, not only teaching it many times, and I don't think I've ever actually learned it myself, but I can play the whole thing fairly smoothly because I've taught it so many times. But one of my favorite memories was before Sergei Babayan played the Prokofiev Second Concerto, which was only a few hours south of us in Ann Arbor, Michigan. He was playing somewhere in Ohio, and it was just a magnificent concert. Pretty bad piano, to be honest. I remember watching him kind of fight the piano the whole concert. I felt so bad for him. Very weak upper register, if I remember right. Pretty out of tune. I was like, why is this piano not better for one of the world's greatest artists? But he was playing the Prokofiev Second. But it was a very strange concert because they started out the first half. Usually when someone is soloing with an orchestra, they'll do orchestral works in the first half. He played an entire first half of Chopin works, and he did play advanced pieces like the Barcarolle, one of the Polonaises, but for the most part, even the Polonaise, like Opus 26 No. 1, that is not the most demanding Polonaise. The Barcarolle is not quite as demanding as something like the Fourth Ballade with technical prowess, but you're playing Prokofiev Second in the next half. No one's questioning your technical abilities. The reason I bring that up is he played Opus 69 No. 2. He played this one. Opus 64 No. 2. And then he played a few other works. No etudes, no ballades, no scherzi. It was a statement on simplicity. It was quite profound. Why do I bring all of this up? I want you, from the beginning of this video, to change your mindset about this piece and try to, if you aren't already thinking this, and to think of it in terms of how can I make this sound innocent and simple? While you may need to overdo your dynamics. I always say this is a good idea to overdo dynamics. In order just to get those in your intuition, into your muscle memory, into just something to make it automatic. Once all of that has been worked out, I want you to think, how can I make this sound so simple? Because as Mr. Babayan had played that, it was so peaceful in that room. It was quite special. This is a tutorial that's been requested for many years, so all of you who have been waiting for it, thanks so much for your patience. Let's dive into some mechanics first, but I wanted to start the video out with that artistic mindset because I think that when you have the end goal in mind, even when you're learning the notes, it will inspire your practice and make you more efficient along the way. Okay, just getting started with some fingering here. Again, you can change this if you need to with your whatever feels best in your hand, but this is something that feels pretty good. 4, 5, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 5, 4, 2, 4, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 5. Now it's up to you. I just always stick with the 5 there, but if you wanted to switch to a 4 and then go back to a 5 here, sometimes that switching is really nice. Students don't tend to get that kind of harsh, tense feeling in their hand when they switch. So if that's you, go ahead and switch fingers there. 5, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, 5, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 5, 4, 2, 4, 3, 1, 1. Now here, this is up to you. Let's see. They give a couple different fingerings here. I'm trying both of them out. What do I usually use? Oh, good heavens. I think I usually just shift my hand position, but I think there's something better. I'd probably do something like 5, 3, 4, 2, 1, 4, or 5, 3, 4, 2, and then you can just shift your hand position into this 5, 4, 3, 1. Either one of those would be fine. And then 5, 4, 1, 4, 3, 1. I'd probably go, you can do a 2 there if you're going to lift, which is the end of the phrase mark by Chopin. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. Let's go over left hand. I'm not going to dig into every finger of the whole piece. I just want to get you started so you can kind of see how things are connecting and working overall. Left hand, with waltz figures, I like to keep sometimes an open hand position if the chord that I'm going to is maybe a triad that is in root position. But if I'm going to these, so that's in second inversion right there. Second position, if you want to think about it. So root position, first inversion, second inversion. So I would probably do 5, 4, 2, 1. Now, some people are fanatics about always keeping the hand open so that they can rotate to it like that. I don't think there's any harm, especially if you have smaller hands, going to something like 5, 2, 1. So even if you wanted to on these first ones, 5, 5, 2, 1, 5, 5, 2, 1, I think that's okay. I would probably, personally though, go 4, 2, 1, 5, 2, 1, 5, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, and then when you go to this G sharp diminished, 3, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, 5, 2, 1, 5, 3, 1. Okay, that'll get you started. I just don't want you doing, really stretched out positions like if on that F sharp 7 there. I don't want you doing 5, 3, 2, 1. Even if you've got giant hands, that is a very tense position. Those fingers are very stretched out like that, and I would rather have the hand be in the most natural position, which is just hanging down to your side. Just bring it up. Very comfortable hand position, okay? The thing that I want you to be thinking about once you start getting these notes into your hands and putting them together is immediately start focusing on the voicing, okay? Voicing has to do... it's a little different than shaping. I actually had a very advanced student ask me the other day. I've only worked with her maybe in 4 or 5 lessons up to this point. Really love her. She's such a great pianist from the UK. And she said, what is the difference between voicing and shaping? Because we hear those both as expressive terms, and I want to dispel any doubt in your mind, at least the terminology that I am referring to. Voicing is referring to the voice that you're bringing out. So that's your melody versus your accompaniment, okay? And the voice is not always the soprano. Very often in this piece it is, and in many pieces, but there are plenty of times where your inner line may take the melody. So voicing in those cases would be bringing out that middle line and keeping the accompaniments soft. So just determining where your melody is and keeping the other voices softer. Shaping, or dynamics, or crescendos, diminuendos, fortes and pianos, that's what shaping is referring to. Okay, so I boil piano down to about 8 concepts. It's a very, very complex instrument, but it really does boil down to these concepts: notes, rhythm, articulation, pedal. And then after that, we have voicing, and I like to go in this order generally with students: voicing, dynamics, rubato, and then finally tempo. I don't like to push that tempo up until these other things are in place. That's a really good practice to get into. Most students do notes, rhythm, sometimes articulation, sometimes pedal, and then they're working on tempo, and they haven't worked at all on rubato voicing or shaping. Rubato is the pushing and pulling of time. As you noticed in the first little playthrough that I did in the beginning of this video, it's not... It's... See all that extra time I'm kind of pushing and pulling? That concept, I believe, is the hardest to get good at out of all the concepts. Something that I really only started to feel like it was somewhat second nature after I had done some lessons with Sergei Babayan. My first teacher, who I still go see, she's so brilliant, and she taught me a lot about rubato, but he pushed it to such an extreme that it was easier for me to comprehend, like, oh, I can do more extreme rubato there. So I would save rubato until after you're done with voicing and shaping exercise. Let's talk about some basic ways of working on shape. The first thing is, let's